Hi my sewing lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Johanna. If this is your first time clicking in, thank you so much. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Today I'll be doing a video on how to sew this beautiful corset, and if it's something you're interested in, please keep on watching and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So for this tutorial I'll be needing my corset pattern, and I have a tutorial on how to draft this pattern on my channel. It's very detailed, very beginner friendly and has various advanced tips. And for this tutorial I'll be using my Ankara print to sew vibrant and beautiful, and also interfacing, my cotton lining, fabric scissors, pins, tape measure, chalk, boning and wadding. Next, I'll fold my Ankara in a way to economize my fabric and place the pattern pieces on my fabric, and not forgetting your seam allowance. For me, I used 1.5 centimeter seam allowance, and I pinned my pattern pieces to the fabric and I cut. I'm done cutting my main fabric, so I'm just putting them together to make sure. Next, I'll cut out my notches. Notches helps you and guides you while sewing to know what pattern pieces will go with what pattern pieces. So you do that from the front pattern pieces to the back pattern pieces. Then I'll go on to cut my lining. Don't forget the center front is on fold, the side front you cut 2 and the rest also you cut 2. And also make sure your pattern pieces are flat on your lining, not so as not to create bubbles or make your lining longer or shorter than your main piece. So you need to do it slowly and carefully, pin it slowly and carefully, then you can cut. At this point, I was done cutting out my lining pieces, so I want you to remember that your center front you're going to have 2 pieces on fold, that is your fabric and your lining, and the rest you're going to have 2 each, that is your main fabric and your lining. Next, I'll go on and grab my interfacing and use my original pattern pieces to cut my interfacing. At this point, I was trying to see how I could fit my original pattern pieces in my 0.5 meter interfacing I bought from the shop. I bought this interfacing with a hole by the side. I was so devastated, but I tried to fit my pattern pieces in it and it worked. That's what I was trying to see, but yeah, it worked. At this point, I'm almost done matching my interfacing with my fabric and lining. So I'm going to take it to the iron and fuse. So all pattern pieces are fused, both main fabric and lining pieces. So we have 9 of each, that is 18 pieces are all fused. Fusing is important to give support and stability to your corset, so don't skip that step. So I'll be using my wadding to create a bust support for my corset. A wadding is like a felt fabric. You can find it in your fabric shop. If you ask for wadding, they're gonna give you, it's a medium to heavyweight fabric. It's felt, it's like a foam. So I'm going to be using 2 of the wadding pieces to create that support for just 1 pattern pieces. So I just want you to watch my video very well at this point so that you see the way I create that support. So you can actually glue it and fuse it to your fabric piece. I'll do that for only my front, guys. So it's only my front, that is my center front and my side front. That's the only place I'm going to be using this wadding. After finish cutting your wadding pieces, you put the glue side facing down and you fuse with the iron. And also the second wadding pieces, I fuse with the iron. The moment we have all been waiting for is the sewing part. So I'm going to start with the front. So I'll take my center front and my side front and pin. You can also go ahead to the sewing machine without pinning, but make sure your notches are matching. Also go ahead to pin the other side front to the center front. Now, the use of the result of the wadding, it gave that stability and it gave that support to the bust cup. So I'm going to be also pinning my side back to my side front and also my side back to my center back. But you need to be careful of the center back or the back pieces because they all look the same. So you need to make sure you mark the notches and also mark which part is on the top and which part is on the bottom. After pinning, take it to the machine and stitch all seams that were pinned. So when you're done stitching, now it's time to press. So we're going to be pressing the seams opened. So we're going to be doing it seam by seam. So I'm going to be pressing it opened, using my hands to guide it. And make sure you do the same thing for the lining. Also press the outside of the main fabric so that it stays very flat. Yeah, I'm loving the shape of the cup. I'm loving it. I love the print so far and I'm happy. Guys, never get tired of pressing. Pressing makes your work look neat and professional. Next, I'll place my bias tape on the seam so as to create channels for my boning. So when I place my bias tape, then I cut the length I want, then I would stitch at the edge of my bias tape so as to create that channel my boning will pass through. So you can create as many channels you want. You can also follow my pattern I use for this corset. I had about 12 boning channels. All our bonings are inside the channels, and also when I was stitching my lining, I left a bit of space on my side seams, so you'll see why I did that later in the video. So now let's make the corset loops. So I cut straps as long as you want, but the width was 1.25, so I'm trying to make like a bias tape. Or you can use 3 centimeters width. So what you do is fold one side and you fold the other side about 1 centimeter and then fold it together and press. So that's what I did here. I pressed it and then I took it to the sewing machine and gave it a straight stitch. Then when I was done stitching, I cut out loops of 2.5 inches. So my loops were 2.5 inches long. So I used about 12 loops, so 6 on one side and 6 on the other side. So you can use as much loops as you want. It depends on how long your corset is and or how short your corset is. Next, I'll be arranging my loops by pinning them on the center back. I want you to watch carefully the way I did it on the video. I'm pinning them, and make sure you pin it and each loops are equal to the next loop. Not one is close to 1 centimeter and the other is close to 2 centimeters. Everything has to be equal. If you're not sure if it is equal, make sure you measure it or repin it again before you go to the sewing machine and stitch. I'll also be repeating that on the other side of the back. I overlocked the center back and I stitched the loops. Next, I pin my main fabric and my lining pieces together at the neckline. And I also make a marking for the V point because I want my sweater neckline to be a very nice V. So I stitched down the neckline. Then I started making notches. I made the notches at the middle of the corset, and I also made notches all around the neckline. And you also cut the corners so that when you put this corset inside out, it gives you a very nice sharp corner. Next, I'll be doing what is called edge stitching or under stitching so that my lining can be inside and not coming outside. Then again, I'm pressing. Pressing is very important, guys. It's very important. Again, I'll be turning my corset right side facing right side, and I want to stitch the center back. So I'm going to pin it first. I'm going to pin the center back, that is the lining and the main fabric, and I will do that for the other side. Next, I'll be pinning the bottom part of my corset. So I'll start from the right side and I go all the way to the left side, making sure all my seams are matching. I already stitched down everything, the center back and the bottom part of my corset. So now I'm just cutting out the corner so that when I turn it inside out, it looks very nice and sharp. And remember that space we left at the side seam, that is where we are going to pull out everything from. So we are going to turn it inside out from that space. So make sure you do it carefully, take your time, and it's all gonna come out from there. Even if you have bonings on your corset, it's still gonna come out from there. So our corset is being turned inside out and it's looking so nice. It's giving, the colors are giving, the boning is giving. Inside out, it's looking neat both inside out. And guys, for that space, you're just going to use your hand needle and thread and just seal it up, and that's it. And you have your corset. Lastly, we're gonna give our corset the final press to look professional and neat. We're gonna press both inside and outside. So my sewing lovers, if you learned something from this video, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you want more of this, and comment Ankara corset if you watched to this part of the video. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time, and bye bye from me.